सर्वकाये सुसर्वधा। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार। वरनौ रघुवर विमल जशो जोदायक फलचार। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मुहि हरौ कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर। जय कपीश धिनु लोक उजागर। रामदूत तुलित बल धामा। अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी। कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन वरण विराज सुबेशा। कांडल कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराजे। कांडे मुंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन। तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर। राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया। राम लखन सीता मन भसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिंह दिखावा। विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे। रामचंद्र की जय काज सवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए। श्री रघुवीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई। तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस्र बदन तुमरो यस गावे। अस कई श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीषा। नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। यम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाके। कभी कवित कही सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही किन्ना। राम मिलाए राजपद दीना। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना। लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्त्र जो जन फल भानु। लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मिली मुख माही। चलति लांति गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते। सुगमानुग्रह तुमरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे। हो तन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा। तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपे। तीनों लोक हाकते गापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे। महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा। जपत निरंतर हनुमंत बीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे। मन क्रम भजन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा। तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे। सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा। हे परसीत जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दाता, तुम्हारे भजन राम को भावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाहि, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई, और देवता चीतन धरहि, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करहि, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमंत बलबीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गुसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई, जो सत भार पाठ कर कोई, छूटे बंदी महासुख होई, जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सीति साखी गौरी सा, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय महदेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय महदेरा, पवन तनया संकट हरणा, मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहिता, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप, बोलिए पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
Welcome to Satsang. Such a beautiful way to start with the chanting of the Hanuman Chalisa, connecting us so deeply to Hanumanji, of course, to the miracles of devotion, the Shakti of Bhakti, and connecting us also to the practice of gratitude, the practice of Bhakti, that experience of diving and delving in to gratitude, to love, to devotion, to singing, praying the glories of God. And Hanumanji is such a personal favorite of mine. Such an embodiment, the epitome of the power of devotion, the absolute miraculous power of loving God. So as we chant the Hanuman Chalisa, we don't just chant about the feats of Hanumanji, but we actually make that our life. It's not about, oh, and there was this incredible being, Hanumanji, and he did this and he did that and he was like this. But rather, how can we take that message, that love, that single-pointed devotion, absolute, unwavering devotion to God in our lives? Wherever you are, if you can chant the Hanuman Chalisa once every day, it will be a very important, very beneficial addition to whatever else you're doing on your spiritual path. 8 minutes, 5 if you chant it quickly, 10 if you really chant, sing very slowly, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Surely, even in the busyness of our days, we can find 8 minutes. It's got a power to connect you to the power of Hanumanji, to the power of devotion, to the power of service, to the power of miracles. Miracles that come through knowing it's all for God, and it's all God, and God is making it all happen. And that power is what we all need in our lives. So don't worry if you don't know the words by heart. There's probably at least 100 different versions you can get if you Google Hanuman Chalisa. Pick one. Read it in the Devanagari, if you read Devanagari. Read it in English transliteration if you don't, no problem. But just add it. Add it somewhere in your daily practice, in your morning meditations, at night before you sleep, wherever it may be. But just add it. You'll see. You'll see the miracle of just these 40 sacred verses dedicated to that power of devotion, power of surrender, power of connection to the divine. So we start, as always, with a question that's reached us in advance, and then, as always, we turn to you for whatever questions are up in your mind, in your heart, in your homes, in your lives. Put them in comments. Our Divine Seva team is here to see them. We're here for you, connecting you to the flowing sacred waters of Mother Ganga. Please tell me why everyone is becoming attracted to India and the Hindu culture. So, this is not a new phenomenon. We've got so many beautiful leaders, beautiful teachers, those still in their bodies, those who have passed on, who came to India decades and decades ago. So many came in the late 60s, early 70s, from America, from Europe, mostly from America, a lot in those days. So this is not a new thing. So many of the spiritual teachers in America today, the American teachers in India. From American teachers in America, but teaching Eastern traditions, came here in the late 60s, early 70s. Their disciples teaching now. So it's not new, but we've definitely seen an increase, even just in the 25 years that I've been blessed to be here. A big increase. Every year, so many, more and more people from all over the world. Every country of the world are coming here. And even those who aren't able to physically make the trip, so many are tuning in to online programs and devotional chanting kirtan, studying, joining us in satsang. Why is that? I think it has to do with the basic common sense of the human mind that says, I've looked where I was told to look for something, didn't find it. Therefore, let me look somewhere else. And in the West, we're told from the time we're very young, most of us, that if we want happiness in life, and we want joy in life, and we want peace in life, and we want real success in life, meaning in life, that we should make a lot of money, have a good education, get a nice job, buy nice clothes, build a nice house. And so people do that. But as they do that, they realize, hey, wait, I now have a really big house. I now have really nice cars. I've got a good job, making a lot of money. But I'm not actually happy. Why is that? And they look, and they keep looking in the same place, because that's where we're told to look. Sometimes people say, the problem is you've got last year's model car. Problem is you don't yet have the highest position. So we're always being told more. Better, better, better. Higher, higher, higher. But at some point, many people have an awakening, an awareness, an epiphany that says, maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Maybe it's not about more of the same, but actually maybe it's something different. And yet, sadly, in a lot of the Western cultures, there isn't a place to go for those teachings of what's different. There's not so much of a culture that says, look within. It's a culture that says, look where the light is. Look here, it's bright. Look in the shopping centers. Look in the store windows. Buy more. Have more. Acquire more. Earn more. And it's a culture that keeps telling us that. But when we've done that, a lot of people say, it's not there. Where else do I look? And so India being a land, sacred land, a mystical land. And again, this is not a recent phenomenon. This is going back. India's been this way for thousands and thousands of years, and I think the West has known about it for a long time. There's lots of beautiful literature you can go back to from hundreds of years ago, of people learning from the land of the yogis, learning from the land of the mystics, the land of the sages, to find those answers. And so it's not a surprise that now, as means of transportation have increased, of means of access to information have increased, as our availability to teachings have increased, that more and more people are looking and are turning toward this culture, turning toward these teachings. Because look, you can only keep looking in the wrong place for something for so long before you finally realize it's not here. And so India and the teachings of this beautiful culture stand as this model of a place where we may not have all of the latest gadgets, or all of the luxury, or all of the ease, or all of the convenience. But there's a secret here. I remember when I first came to India, it touched me so deeply to look around and to see the people who were living so far below Western standards of poverty, but who were so happy, so fulfilled, so in peace. So much more in peace, in fact, so much happier, in fact, than people I knew in America who had it all. And it made me realize from the very beginning that there's a secret here. I had to come here to realize that. But there's a lot of people who, even sitting from their homes in so many different cities around the world, are tuning in, whether it's through books, whether it's now through the internet, online, whatever it is, but tuning in, or even in their own cities. These days, in so many cities of the world, you can study Indian philosophy, study Vedic teachings, study the Bhagavad Gita. People are realizing that happiness, that joy, that meaning I'm looking for in life is not going to come from just having more and more and more, because we've done that. Been there, seen that, done that. Doesn't have what we want. How many lifetimes do we have to keep coming back, doing the same thing over and over again, with the same result of nothing, until we finally realize it's not there? And this is where so many people then are turning here to find that real answer. So whether it's arriving to come here on the banks of Ganga at Parmarth Niketan to immerse themselves here, whether it's tuning in from all over the world, whether it's taking classes in the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, the Vedas, whether it's learning yoga but diving in a deep way, it's not just the asanas. Yeah, we're seeing it because it works. Because those who do it then experience that happiness, that joy, that meaning. And they tell people. And people around them realize, she's a lot happier when she comes out of meditation class than she is when she used to come back from the shopping center. This must be working. There's a light. There's a peace. There's a joy that's permeating her after she meditates, after she's studying the scriptures, after she joins Satsang. That's much more than we used to feel with her when we all would just go to the parties or go to the bars. And so we keep doing that which works. And we tell people, and people see it. So slowly more and more people are turning to this. The tragedy is the number of Indians who are turning away from it. The number of Indians who are turning toward the West, consciously allowing themselves to be deluded into making the same mistake that so many people in the West make. Following in the footsteps of mistakes that Western culture has made by making material possessions primary, by making financial success primary, by making our whole model in life about the material world, about having more money, having more possessions, having more name, having more fame, climbing that social ladder. That's the tragedy. As more and more people from the West are realizing that in those teachings in that culture isn't happiness, more and more Indians are forsaking their own culture in favor of this delusion of happiness through possessions, of success through your rung on a career ladder, or which office you have, or success through the size of your house or the number of your cars or how much the neighbors want to be like you. And that makes me very sad, because people from the West can't be blamed for not turning to this culture if they don't know about it. Like I didn't know about it. It was God's grace that I came here because I liked vegetarian food. And that grace showed me. But for Indians, you have this in your blood, in your genes. For Indians to be turning away from this culture is the greatest tragedy. It's the greatest tragedy for you, for your children, for this nation, and for the future of the planet. Because actually the keys of this culture are the keys that our world needs to move into a sustainable, one, united, unified, together, global family, global nation. And so if the Indians themselves are turning away from it, who's going to show the light to the world? So this is what's needed. The Westerners are coming. They've been coming for a long time. They're going to keep coming. But the Indians need to stay. The Indians need to appreciate deeply the core of these teachings, the core of the culture, your sanskaras, your heritage, your roots. That's up to you.
Hari Om, Sadhviji. Chandra Shekhar Swain has written in from Facebook, and he writes, Namaste. What is Jivatma and Paramatma? Please give a lecture on it.
So, Jivatma is, you can think of it as my individual soul. So we'll come back to a metaphor, but for the moment, Jivatma is my soul. The soul that is interacting with my very physical life. The soul that chose to take birth in my physical body, in the circumstances in which I was raised, the country, the culture, the situation, the condition, that chose to come into this particular package, that intersects and interacts with my karmic package. Paramatma is the whole soul, the infinite, the supreme soul. Now the truth is, they're actually one. A way to think about it is the water of the ocean. So we have an ocean. Imagine that the ocean is infinite, that there aren't borders or boundaries to it. The ocean is infinite. The sun is shining upon it. Some droplets of water evaporate due to the heat of the sun. They get carried by the wind, deposited somewhere. Those drops return back to the ocean. All water on the planet is heading back to the ocean. Now, each of those individual drops at the core is ocean. Wherever it lands, it's ocean. And it's a drop until it reunites with the ocean, at which point there's no longer a drop. It's not about the drop dying or being finished or over, but it's about when that drop unites with the ocean. The individual dropness merges into the infinite ocean. And so the Jivatma is like the drop. It's part of the ocean, it's of the ocean, it's never stopped being ocean. But at this current intersection of time and space, on a particular plane of existence, because of course on another plane of existence, there's nothing but soul. There's nothing but God. Everything else is an illusion. But on this other plane of existence, where we look at form, the waves of the ocean, the drops of the ocean, on this plane of existence, this drop is currently in the form of this body. It's still ocean, hasn't stopped being ocean. It's returning to the ocean as well. And at some point, it's going to merge back fully into the ocean. At which point, it's not about a dying of this. It's about a merging into the one. And this, by the way, does not have to happen only after we die. We speak about Jivatma, we also speak about Jiva Mukti. Awakening, Mukti, freedom, moksha. While we are living in this very form, in this very intersection of time and space, on this very plane of existence, we can be free. So it's not about I have to lose the physical body in order to merge with the one. Because it's not the physical body that keeps me from merging with it. It's the mind. And so when the mind, this is why we meditate, it's why we pray, it's why we do seva, it's why we engage in all of these practices that purify the mind, purify the vision, purify the understanding. So that even with this body, I can be Jiva Mukti. Which means instead of identifying only as Jivatma, only as my particular karmic package, moving through this particular physical body and circumstances, I actually am able to experience oneness with Parmatma. Because the truth is, we speak about souls, plural, and on one plane of existence, as I said, yeah, that exists. But on the highest plane of existence, there's only soul. It's like in the ocean, there are waves. And on the most superficial level, on the surface, yeah, there are waves. But on the deepest, highest level, there's nothing but ocean. And yeah, some of the ocean may be in the form of the wave. But even the wave in its form as a wave is still ocean. It doesn't stop being ocean in order to become a wave. It doesn't stop being ocean in order to be a drop. And so even as we live as the Jivatma, when that Jivatma interacting and intersecting with my mind, my understanding, my buddhi, my ahankar, my ego, when that is purified, I understand that even as Jivatma, ultimately my highest truth is Paramatma, one with the divine. When we say Aham Brahmasmi, that's the awareness. When we say Soham, that's the awareness. Then it's no longer about Jivatma, Paramatma, then it's just Atma, soul, divinity, one. And that can happen. That's the Jiva Mukti. So as the mind is purified, the Jivatma realizes it's Paramatma.
Sadhviji, when I look at the world around me today, it makes me feel sad and it makes me feel dejected. How do I go from sadness to strength so that I may act?
There's a lot in the world today that should make us sad. Sadness is not a weakness. Sadness is a strength. Because sadness means your eyes are open. Your heart is open. To move through the world without sadness is impossible. Unless you are a rock, a piece of cement, a wall, without a heart. To see hunger, pain, suffering, illness, wars, violence, desecration of our sacred Mother Earth. All of so much of what we're seeing in the world today. We're speaking so much about equality, about discrimination, about the very real suffering due to that. It should make us sad. So the goal is not about how to not feel sad. The goal is how to not be paralyzed by sadness. And also how to not make a drama out of my sadness. How to allow that sadness to be something that cracks me open. Because as our heart opens, it actually connects us. Connects us with the planet. Connects us with those who are dying of hunger. Connects us with the trees that are being cut down. It connects us with the rivers that are being polluted. Connects us with the women dying in childbirth. Connects us with those being alienated and discriminated against and harmed. So the sadness cracks our heart open. And when that heart is cracked open, we actually have access to our greatest ability to be creative. Why is it that the most beautiful poetry, literature, songs come out of broken hearts. A heart cracked open is an incredible and exquisite source of creativity. And what our world needs today is creative solutions. We need people with hearts that are cracked open, courageously able to access our creativity, connected to our hearts, connected to those for whom they are cracked open, but not paralyzed by it. And so from that heart cracked open, I find energy. The energy of a mother who carries her child with fever kilometers and kilometers and kilometers through the jungle overnight to get to the nearest village health center so someone will save her child's life. The energy that enables a 100-pound woman to lift a car off of her newborn. The energy that inspires people like Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, to do what they do. It's not indifference. It's not apathy. It's not rocks in the heart. It's strength out of sadness. That out of that sadness, I'm not paralyzed by it. I'm not a victim of it. It's not, oh, poor me, wallowing in sadness. It's not a pervasive sense of sadness. It's not a sadness with blinders on, because as there is darkness, so there is light. As there are dry seasons, so there are rainy seasons. As there are fallow times, so there are beautiful harvests. As there is crime and violence, so there is great sharing and tenderness. As there is horrific acts against each other, so there are extraordinary acts of selflessness, in love, in oneness. And so a heart that is cracked open is not cracked open only to the darkness. It is cracked open to all of life. And so out of that connection to all of life, I draw strength to be a solution, to use my sadness, to use my anger, because we should be angry also. Sadness is, this is horrible. Anger is, this doesn't even have to be. This shouldn't be like it is. Anger is, there is an alternative and it isn't being exercised. So we should be sad. We should be angry. But we should not be paralyzed by either of them or wrapped up in our personal dramas about either of them. Let them be catalysts for action, for right action. And this is where our spiritual practices are so important. Because otherwise, we have volume, but we don't necessarily have words that heal. We've got something to say no to, but we don't know what to say yes to. We have speed, but we don't have direction. We have energy, but not a place to direct it. And so our spiritual practices, our meditation, our prayers, our yoga, all of that is to anchor us and connect us so that we may be not just people engaged in the drama of our own outrage at what is happening, but actually effective efficient, useful, helpful, beneficial tools for change and for transformation. So be sad. Lets you know you're still alive. Lets you know that your eyes are open and your heart is open. But don't let it become a drama. Don't let it paralyze you. Open yourself to the joy as well as the sadness, to the life as well as the death. Open yourself to the light along with the darkness, because out of that you will find the strength to be a light in the darkness. It's not enough to just shout, "It's dark." We have to be the light, find the light, bring the light. And yeah, of course, first we have to know it's dark. Be sad that it's dark, be angry that it's dark. But that's the beginning, not the end. From that beginning, we come together to find that light. And each of us has a very important part to play in that. Have a beautiful, open-hearted, deeply connected morning, day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you again on Saturday. So much love to you all.